The small town of Ridgewood was quiet, too quiet. At least that's how it felt to Frank, the old factory mechanic. Everyone knew Frank. He was a man of habit, someone who liked things just so. But lately, the usual humdrum of factory life felt trivial. Strange lights had been spotted in the sky above Ridgewood. Whispers of these nocturnal visitors spread through the town like wildfire. Some dismissed it as nonsense weather balloons, they said, or swamp gas. But Frank, with his years of experience tinkering and fixing, knew better. He knew there were more things in heaven and earth than dreamt of in their philosophies. Frank had always been a practical man. He wasn't going to stand by and let fear grip the town. He decided to take matters into his own hands. He'd show them those lights weren't any weather balloons. Armed with his wits and a lifetime of mechanical knowledge, Frank retreated to his bedroom. He had a plan. He worked tirelessly, the metal clanging a rhythmic counterpoint to the crickets chirping outside. His bedroom, usually a sanctuary of rest, was now dedicated to a singular purpose, capturing the unknown. Days turned into nights, and the trap began to take shape. The trap was crude, yet ingenious. A large metal cage rigged with a pressure plate and a weighted door. The bait, Frank himself, lying in wait. Frank wasn't sure if it would work, but the possibility, the sheer audacity of it kept him going. He was ready to face whatever was out there. Night fell over Ridgewood. The familiar clatter of machinery from the nearby factory had long since ceased. Only the crickets and the distant barking of a dog dared break the silence. Frank sat alone in his workshop, the only light emanating from a bare bulb hanging precariously above his workbench. The trap was set, a silent sentinel in the night. He had chosen a clearing in the woods, not far from where the strange lights had been seen. The metal cage glinted ominously under the pale moonlight. Frank waited, his heart pounding in his chest. Every rustle of leaves, every hoot of an owl, sent a jolt of adrenaline through him. He wasn't sure how long he'd been there. Time seemed to melt away in the stillness of the night. Suddenly a high-pitched whine pierced the air, followed by a blinding flash of light. The hair on Frank's arm stood on end. This was it. The trap, illuminated by the unearthly glow, stood ready. He held his breath as a shadow moved within the light. A form began to solidify. It was taller than a man, slender, with long, thin limbs. There was a heavy thud as something landed on the pressure plate. The weighted door slammed shut with a resounding clang. Frank's heart leaped into his throat. He had caught it. He had actually caught whatever it was that had been terrorizing Ridgewood. But what he felt now wasn't triumph, but a chilling wave of fear. He was alone in the dead of night with something not of this world.